So now that Pawnee can walk and trot without getting emotional, which means she's not rolling her eyes back, she's not rearing up, she's not panicking, now it's time to start working on the canter. So I have her on a 22-foot line in the round pen, and that way I can have some control if I need it, but I'm also going to give her the freedom to see if she can go into a canter and bring herself back down by coming down to a trot, coming down to a walk, and relaxing, because I want her to learn how to self-regulate. And instead of just getting emotional, I want her to find her way back down. So I asked for a trot first, and now that she's cantering, she went into a canter kind of a little bit emotional, but I want to see if she can bring herself down. So she came down to a trot herself there, which was really good. Instead of checking out or getting emotional, she brought herself down. That doesn't mean she's totally relaxed. I'm going to ask her back to a canter again here, but I want her to self-regulate. So there she came back down to a trot. So I'm not asking her to maintain the canter. I'm just asking her to go into a canter, and what are you going to do? Are you going to relax, or are you going to get emotional? And here she relaxed back down in the trot there. She lowered her head. She had a little bit more rhythm. So I allowed her to stop. And her head tossing like that is just a little bit of emotion there, but that's not bad compared to what she had before, and that's just going to continue to keep getting better. So I allow her to stop, relax, process. She was doing a lot of blinking, sneezing, licking her lips, and I just give her time for her emotions to come back down before I ask her back out again. So I backed her up a little bit there because she started moving, coming forward just a little bit, and I want her to stay where I put her until I ask her to do something else. So now I'm going to ask her to go to the right. I just point to the right with my hand, and she starts walking. So I started the walk, then ask for the trot, and I don't want to ask for the canter until she's relaxed at the trot. So right there, see her head comes up a little bit. She's not relaxed yet. So I'm not going to ask her into a canter if she's not relaxed at the trot. And I'm not going to ask her into a trot unless she's relaxed at the walk. And that doesn't mean she's 100% completely relaxed, but because we're not there in the training yet, but I want her emotions to be okay before I ask. So I thought that was pretty good in her canter there. She was somewhat relaxed. She wasn't emotional, so I let her stop and process that. And these are just baby steps, because it's only been like a week or less since she was getting really emotional at the trot. So now that that's taken care of, it's time to work on that canter. So I'm super happy with her progress right now. So now I'm pointing to the left, and I want her to start out at the walk. And that's pretty relaxed. So now I ask for a trot. And she leaves a little bit fast at the trot right there, which is a little bit of emotions there. But, it's still getting better every day. So I'm looking for a little bit of relaxation here. I want her head to come down. I'd like some more rhythm. And her head did come down a little bit, so I asked her into the canter. And she brought herself back down to a trot. And she lowered her head. She started to relax, then it came up, but it's going to go up and down. And then she brought herself down to a walk. And so then I disengage her, stop, back up a little bit, and relax. And now she's sneezing a lot. So I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy that she's not getting emotional and losing her mind. So I'm asking her back out on the circle again. So what I'm doing is I'm working on her going up to a canter in both directions, in 3 different sets before I quit. So there's some relaxation and rhythm right there. So then I ask her into the canter. And that was really nice. She brought herself back down to a trot. She relaxed sooner this time. I really like that. Nice and relaxed at the walk. So it's so important to give the horses this time to process, to just relax, bring the emotions back down, to lick and chew, sneeze, just let it all come back down to neutral again before I ask her to go back out. Otherwise, I'm taking the emotions that she previously had with me to go into the next set of walk, trot, canter. And I don't want to do that. I want her to relax and bring all her emotions down before we start again. So her head's a little high. She's thinking outside of the circle. I'm going to wait on her. There was a big change right there. It didn't last long, but there was a nice little change where she brought her head down and she relaxed a little bit. So then I asked her into the canter. Good. She checked in with me right there. She checked in again. Not for long, and there she checked in again. That was good. There's some rhythm and relaxation there. It's just moments of it, but I want her to know that that's good. So I talk to her a lot when I'm working with her like that, and I'll just say, good, that was good. And I want her to feel that I'm happy, and that helps her to relax and feel better. So I thought that was a really good effort there. So because I'm changing her patterns of emotions and trying to get her to relax in motion, it's really important that I give her all this time right now to stop and process. As she becomes more confident, she won't need as much time because she'll go through the process faster, but right now she really needs a lot of time in between each attempt. So her head came down there, she was relaxed, she had processed, so then it was time to go ahead and ask again. And it doesn't take much at all for me to get her to go into a trot. I just point, I breathe in, and she goes. So she's still taking off into the canter a little bit fast, but that's okay. She's not losing her mind about it. She gets a little bit worried, but then she brings herself down. Later on, I'll start asking for her to maintain gait, but not yet because we're still working on her emotions right now. Once I get that situated, then I'll start asking to maintain gait more.